Hey, Coach, is Marcus Mariota on the Eagles' radar?
Absolutely. I know what you're saying. He's a duck. But keep this in mind. The duck is the fiercest bird in all of the animal kingdom, highly intelligent, even more so than the eagle. So keep that in mind.
Hey, Coach, a lot of new guys in the locker room this season. How are you going to help them gel?
We're having a family fun day at the stadium. There'll be a band, there'll be some food. We'll have Daffy Duck there, Donald Duck there. I don't even know what the guy's saying half the time. I'm just cracking up looking at him. Oh, by the way, Daisy, smoke show, right? It's hot. I feel like I got a down jacket on all of a sudden. All right. Oh, by the way, next week I'm out, guys, having a small medical procedure. All right, thanks for your time. Hey guys, the rumors have been out there. It's true. I went through species reassignment surgery to become a duck. I've always felt like a duck, trapped inside of somebody else's body, but I finally feel comfortable in my own feathers.
Coach Kelly.
It's actually Feathersly McDuck, guys.
Coach McDuck, how is this going to go over with the Eagles?
Excuse me. It hasn't really been much of an issue, honestly. It's 2015, guys. An aquatic bird is just as much a part of Animalia as a bird of prey is. Now, if you guys will excuse me, I'm speaking at a rally against foie gras and then another rally against the boxer. Start right.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, and they are the Danettes in Milford, Connecticut. The Eagles are making a lot of moves in the offseason here. McLovin, how many more of these former Oregon Ducks are going to end up on Chip Kelly's squad next year?
Well, I think it's 53 players, probably 48, 49.
Give him a Soli in there at quarterback?
Yeah, but he's been gone now a couple years, so his players, if he's going to get them, he's got to get them now, because eventually he's going to be so far removed from Oregon that he's not going to. So he's got to jump on these guys now. All this is just building up for Marcus Mariota to be traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. It's all pretense.
Are you going to be an Eagles fan again?
I have to admit, I am a big Chip Kelly fan. I think this high-paced offense is awesome.
We are.
I'm not going to go we, but if he was coaching the Buccaneers, I would still be as big a fan. I'm very consistent. It's from being around Dan. All offense, no defense. Mm-hmm. Who doesn't like that? I mean, don't you guys like Chip Kelly in the Eagles?
Absolutely.
I do.
Yeah. Put up the points.
Well, you do because he's Belichick light. He's the same thing. I mean, that's the other
fun.
thing.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Paulie, Jay Cutler is expected to be out of Chicago, possibly. Are you going to miss him?
Oh, where are you getting your reports? That's fantastic. I know he's owed $10 million later today, so I would not miss him. No, I don't care about his demeanor and all that stuff. I just don't think he's a guy who's going to lead you to a Super Bowl. He had Alshon Jeffrey, Brandon Marshall, Matt Forte, a decent offensive line, and a pretty solid defense 2 years ago, and he couldn't really do much with it. So,
But what's your other option?
Not spending $25 million on a guy who can't get you the Super Bowl. That seems like a bad option.
I don't know why. I love Jay Cutler. I really do.
I love
him. I think,
if
he can just get it shot,
I liked when he was in Denver, but he didn't get them anywhere near as far as
When he was at Vandy, I loved the dude. He had these huge bangs. He was from Santa Claus, Indiana, which I don't even know if that's a real place, but I think it is.
Yeah.
And he led Vandy to respectability, which is as tough as it gets. But it's just...
Nobody throws a nicer looking football, too.
Oh, he could overthrow anybody.
Yeah.
And it'll look
But
awesome.
it'll spiral killing me, that guy.
I'm passing kick contest, he's crushing.
Well, Cutler may not be an actual story yet, but there was another story that was an actual one floating out there this weekend, and that was the sanctions that the NCAA has levied against Syracuse and their coach, Jim Boeheim. Now, he is a friend of the show, Seton. If the boss was to lock down an interview and you were to feed him a question, what would be the first question you would have Dan ask him?
Oh, boy, that's a hell of a question to ask me. That whole Syracuse thing is a little convoluted. To be honest with you. I have a hard time wrapping my mind around the whole 10 years that they investigated and all the different things that they're alleging. My first reaction to it was that, not that there's sort of a witch hunt going on with Jim Boeheim Syracuse, but it kind of felt like to me like, well, we finally got you, so...
And it goes on everywhere probably to a certain extent, but, to be able to take down a big fish, especially with all the abuse the NCAA has taken, if we can get some big program and a big-name coach, maybe they can back us off a little bit with all the anti-NCAA
But an
stuff.
investigation shouldn't last longer than what's being investigated. And they're investigating a 4-year window of Syracuse basketball, and it takes 10 years. It's like MASH being on for 10 years, but the Korean War being on for 4.
I would probably start by asking how much involvement he had with the investigation over the last 10 years. how present it was there on a day-to-day basis. You know, I'd be curious about that.
By the way, MASH was on for like 10 years and it was kind of rad. So are you for or against MASH being on for
I'm
that long?
pro-MASH, anti-NCAA. Which is fair.
A little hypocritical, you Paulie Paps.
Always.
Well, you had Jay Billis on from the mothership, and he talked about how the NCAA handled the whole thing.
If you're going to call Jim Boeheim a cheater over this and say cheater, 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 violations you should have known, then don't we have to be willing to call John Wooden a cheater because of what went on in his program with Sam Gilbert and all that? Do we have to if we're going to call one a cheater because of what happened at a YMCA, do we have to call the systematic paying of players at UCLA in the 60s and 70s by Sam Gilbert? Do we have to impute that to John Wooden under the same standard and say cheater?
Wow, that's a powerful take, saying that Boeheim wasn't culpable, be somebody underneath that did it. I got to tell you, I am having trouble separating the fact that we are friends with him because you always get this, oh, hey, my wife, are you going to come up and do the benefit?
Yeah,
Honestly, I like him. I like him a lot, and
we
I
are
have
friends
trouble
with him. I don't know Jim Boeheim at all. Not like one bit.
like-
I don't
And
know
the idea
anybody
that
we
every
interview.
2 years he calls Dan and it's like, hey, man, you never... I don't think Dan ever hears from him either. I think this whole friendship thing is a little...
I love that he does
gives the
his press
impression of a
conference like
friendship.
this. I love that. I love everything about it. I think he's
But
awesome.
he's a
funny.
radio friend. Dan, to my knowledge, has never gone out and had a drink with him socially or gone out to meal with Jim Boeheim.
Wait, you mean that Dan has never done this benefit that they always talk about?
No,
He's
never.
definitely-
That's why it's still a topic.
Right.
I thought Dan and Boeheim had gone out to drinks. I'm shocked.
I've been to that
hear
benefit
this.
more than Dan has.
You've been to that benefit?
I have, yeah.
How
That's
was
a
it?
fact.
We've had Boeheim.
I did a show from there.
They've never gotten drinks together? I'm
To
fascinated.
my knowledge, we've only had him on set.
I feel like I've been
once.
betrayed by
Like
Dan.
11 years ago.
They like have that instant chum.
It's like media friends. It's not real friends.
Oh my God. Who else is like that? Don't tell me Smoltzy's not
How
friends.
much time do we have here to...
Smoltzy, no, they haven't hung out very much. Maybe once or twice.
But when Smoltz is on the show, it sounds like they play golf together at least a few
Barkley?
times a year.
Barkley, they've hung out more, but it's been a long time. Remember, Dan's not on the road anymore.
Yeah.
I would say after about 2006,
He doesn't like
Dan's
to
road
schlep
days
around.
kind of stopped to a point.
So are we like Dan's only four friends left?
Might be.
Now, friends. By us and Dan and friends, you mean exactly what?
Yeah, good point.
Co-workers at
Strong
Lab.
acquaintances.
Well, a friend of the show, Jay Billis, did make a strong point regarding Boeheim. But Pat Forty of Yahoo Sports called in and said why the same case isn't made for John Wooden.
I think honestly because John Wooden was such an exalted figure. He was not only the greatest winner, but the way he handled himself and the kind of aura that was built up around him is almost St. John. And so, how do you put St. John in the category of guys who have cheated? That's the hard part for people to, I think, get their arms around. And golly, is there anybody in college basketball that you can't throw some mud on? That's the disappointing part of the sport. Is you go down the line. I mean, the North Carolina academic scandal started under Dean Smith's tenure. I mean, geez Louise, nobody is sacred basically in college basketball. It's a sad thing to say.
I think this Wooden comparison with any coaches getting in trouble these days is really apples and oranges in the fact that the Wooden stuff came out way after his career was over. I mean, way after. And there's this Gilbert guy, Sam Gilbert, who was this notorious booster. He was known in the 80s, but it didn't happen in the middle of his run. If it would have happened in the middle of John Wooden's run, I'm sure he would have been looked at differently. If he would have actually busted and put on probation during that 11-year run or whatever it was, I think we wouldn't think of him
But
the same
Paulie,
way.
when you're talking historically, what's the difference when they caught him? I mean, it's still, they were all doing the same thing. That's why I think people aren't mad
Okay,
at
Ben-
Boeheim, because they assume everybody, including John Wooden.
But if Ben Johnson, the sprinter, gets caught the day after he beats Carl Lewis or 8 years after he beats Carl Lewis, there's an entirely different caring.
Lance
about it.
Armstrong got kind of... I mean,
Yeah.
that was a long time after.
But he was accused for years. Imagine John Wooden was accused for
just
years
dodged
as he
it.
was winning.
But I
as he was
sense that
winning.
people knew about Wooden. They just.
But
the
how
media
would we
was
sense that? We weren't even born.
No,
I mean,
I
we
mean,
were 4.
Just because, listen, Pat Forty's in Lexington, Kentucky. I mean, you saying that there's not.
Pat
We just
Forty's-
assume
Pat- again-
everybody. You assume Louisville and Kentucky been on the up and up for 30 years.
I
Nobody
don't like
does.
to assume that people cheat, because that's not fair.
Well, Kentucky got busted, so that's
Kentucky
different.
did
Yeah.
but
Especially someone like John Wooden, where he's like everybody's grandpa.
My
and his
take-
light blue like sweater and like Wizard of Westwood.
Which doesn't mean
Pyramid
he's
of
a good
Success.
guy either.
No,
And it doesn't mean he wouldn't do-
You're more likely you want to believe no.
But
not
even somebody
Grandpa
like Wooden or Boeheim, they can't control the boosters. That's like I think that we all.
Well, that's everything.
Yeah.
Remember, boosters don't want the coach to know. They don't want they want to deal directly with the player so they can buddy up with the player.
I don't know that anybody all right, so nobody can control the boosters, and I don't think anybody really wants to either,
Yeah, right.
because they're this gray area of people that never really get in trouble, and by and large, schools don't get in trouble for all of their activities either. So it's like, well, we'll just sort of roll the dice here, and we'll get a couple of rings, and maybe it'll come out.
It all
Like
comes
Michigan,
down to
it came out,
It all
yeah.
comes down to 18 to 21-year-olds saying, "I don't want free money. I don't want free stuff," and asking anybody to pass on money when you're let's say we came in here and someone outside the room just said, "Man, I love your show. I love the way you guys do it. I'm going to hand you $100 as you walk out of here every day." And there was some rule that said we couldn't do so, which probably there is. But you think I'm not going to take that 100 and say, "Thank you"?
And if there's a professor that's willing to change a grade or wink at a class that you didn't attend, or fix up your book report or your term paper to get you that grade that you need to stay eligible to play, and I don't know what student athlete wouldn't do that. You're in some big time program, and you're like, well, I can change your F to a D, and you'll be able to play tomorrow and go into the tournament. So.
Fritzy a cheater too. Oh.
Wow, Fritzy cheated? I didn't know that.
paper.
We'll find out if Boeheim gets a successor soon. Coming up after this, we will select a successor for the boss. This is the Boxer. I don't know you know this, but it is powered by the Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. Every truck can tow a boat, every truck can climb a hill, every truck can haul a trailer. But not everybody has the most fuel-efficient half-ton truck on the road. Truth. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram.
Should you name a successor for your hosting role? Like, there's guys out there I know who are looking for jobs and hosting, and other guys who have sat in this chair before for you. Because if you don't name someone by Thursday, then it's up to us to pick. I mean, there's guys calling you about jobs all the time.
Yeah, there are.
Paulie asked Dan to pick a successor should his hand surgery go awry on Thursday. Seaton, who's the most likely to fill that seat? Should Dan kick the bucket?
Man, most likely, yeah. I don't even know that there's odds right now. I mean, there's certainly, like, when Dan sicks out, the people that we call first. But I don't think that that's the same list, is it?
No,
Vegas has it.
a short-term quick fix is a lot
And also,
different
Rich
than-
Eisen would have been probably first ballot, and now he's out because of his own thing.
Now, that being said, if Dan dies, Rich is doing the show the next day, isn't he?
Our show or his show?
Our show.
No. Rich has a Rich Eisen. He's got a Rich Eisen show.
But you're right, but then you could do like a 6-hour block dedicated to Dan Patrick. I think that's.
I mean, also, Josh Elliott's floating out there. That's the,
what are you?
When you say floating out there, he's out in the parking lot waiting to come in.
Probably, actually.
Hanging on the door.
He's actually
dare
going to
you,
be in the
Andrew.
surgery room to make sure Dan wakes up or doesn't wake up.
Okay, what do you think if Dan died on Thursday? What do you think would we be? Fritzy, none of us
I
wanted to
know.
die.
No,
It's
just
like-
Don't be
I
a
know.
fucking baby.
dude.
Let's talk
I
about
just,
it.
Seriously.
I just don't like that.
Okay, what would you do on
All
Friday?
right, then why don't you leave then, and we'll talk.
We would
about
be
it.
here on. We would all do a show for it because Dan would probably want us to do a show.
What would the
for
show
it.
be about?
No, he wouldn't.
Would it be 3 hours on Dan?
I don't think it would be 3 hours on Dan. I would think Dan would want us to touch on his life and accomplishments and then move on to the,
I mean,
talk
the
about-
top
That's
of
not
the-
even.
Thompson.
So we'll talk about if Riley Cooper should stay with the Eagles or not, and
Clay
when
Thompson
Dan
at
just
40.
died on the
Like
Dan
late-
Patrick
like
show.
probably late first hour.
I think you pop Kawakami off to do Bumgarner injury update first.
That's smart.
You should hit so many darn markets with that guy. It's crazy.
He does
training.
cover a lot of things.
Brock, would you want us to do a show Thursday if Dan passed away on Friday?
Oh, absolutely. That means we could do a box score. We could do the whole, passed away thing. I'm sort of distracted by Fritzy's hair. Did you cut your own hair? It seems rather splotchy on the back left side.
Oh, is it really? Yeah, my wife did the best she could. I let her play with it. She's been doing it the last few times for a little buzz cut, but she's no professional, but a lot better than I would have done.
When was the last time you went to a barber?
I'd say at least a year.
Oh, even a year.
Yeah, probably say a year and a half or so. But yeah, there's a little bit. We could have cleaned it up a little bit more here, and if I didn't realize it was uneven, I
I
can
didn't
only.
notice either. Looks good.
But maybe
By the
from
way,
a certain angle.
Total aside, if Brock died, not only would we do a box score like that day, I mean, we would do it like.
DJ would just jump in.
If
And be like,
we died
didn't miss a
mid-show,
beat.
we would
It's-
finish a show.
We wouldn't celebrate, but we wouldn't cry.
We just cut to 2 segments of Know Your Row, and we'd be fine.
I would just stop. I wouldn't mention Brock ever again. It would be like, hey, wasn't there another guy that did the show?
Right.
Whatever happened to that
You
guy?
mean-
Casey?
you mean
no,
like-
the other guy after that. And you're like,
You mean like Chuck, Richie's brother, on the first couple of episodes of Happy Days, and he was gone? Follow that up, Brock.
Brock just sitting there awkwardly.
No, that's fine. Let's talk about my pending death here. McLovin, what do you think would be the cause of death?
For you?
Yeah.
Listen, Brock, you're on TV, man. It's no secret that you're living by what's the expression? Burning both ends of the candle. Kind of like, yeah. I mean,
Wait, you died on stage before, Brock,
Yeah.
but not in real life.
yeah. I think your lifestyle's gonna catch up with you, Brock. I've been with you at the Super Bowl. It gets pretty crazy.
Oh, I mean, well, comedically, would you want me to die on air, or would you want it to be maybe a vine?
Oh
or
yes,
something?
I mean, if you know you're gonna go, Brock, if let's not kid each other. Let's be a legend here. If you need a Heimlich right now, I'm telling all the producers out there in LA to just leave you alone and let it happen.
Which goes for anybody in this room, too.
Yes,
I mean,
if I'm
should there be a Heimlich, it's like Paul will end up, like, boxing everybody out.
It would be tough, though, because if one of you guys was choking on something right now, I would want to be a hero so badly I'd want to. But then I also know the publicity of one of us dying on air would be
But then you
gigantic.
could hijack the publicity by being a hero.
Right, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
ultimately the better play.
But if I,
You're not going to get front page with saving a Dan. Dan, yes.
But Dan Patrick's show front page, you are.
Oh yeah, that'd be big.
I mean,
you get the
New York
best of
Times
both
might
worlds, a
not
failed
cover it,
attempt
but-
to save him. You tried, so you get the hero aspect that you did everything you
Right.
could, but
A faux
the other Dan
attempt.
that still died, so you have the death
Right.
and someone attempting to save the person.
Right.
So you get
Faux
both.
attempt.
It's great.
All right, don't go away. My left arm's a little numb. Hopefully, I'll be able to make it through the mock headline battle royale and a taste of pennies in my mouth. Oh, and good news, Paulie. I just talked to the cameraman. He said he'll hold the shot should I fall down right now and die. It is Monday, and with plenty of headlines to talk about, let's grab the pen and paper and put forth some gem. It's another edition of
Mock Headline Battle Royale!
You know the rules. Let's play, gentlemen. First headline. Ndamukong Suh expected to sign a deal worth $114 million with the Dolphins. Paulie, start us off.
This is a Fritzy special. Wyoming. No reason to Wyoming. I'll just leave it there.
Here, why?
Seton, what do you have? Ooh, wow.
I'm going to wait for Paul's applause and not step on it. A boy named Sue. After that contract, Ndamukong should change his name to Johnny Cash.
Okay.
Oh, I like it.
Solid.
nice.
Full circle.
Full circle. Also on audience.
Sounds
McLovin.
Yeah, we've used that before.
Okay, this is, it's sweet, but you can't see it. On my page, the S is actually a $sign. So it's an S with a line through it. You can't see that.
Very well
I don't know
done,
how close you get up on this.
Fritzy, what do you have?
I've got Sue or false, and Ndamukong won't bring ring to South Beach anytime soon.
Oh, true.
Sue. Oh,
Sue,
I thought you said Sewer Falls.
Sue or false.
Sewer Falls.
Oh.
Like,
Second headline, Tim Duncan fails to make a field goal in a game for the first time in his career. Fritzy, it's all yours.
I've got Duncan Yo-Yo. Is Tim just playing out the string?
Who's Jacob Flatter?
playing out the string.
Old
McLovin.
1977 toy, the Duncan Yo-Yo.
Tim Duncan, draft bust, question mark?
15 years later.
Paulie.
Great. Great, I gotta follow that. All rim Duncan. Spurs big man lays bricks and goes 0-4. All rim Duncan.
Seton, your headline, please.
The big unfundamental. Sounds like Tim should have been Duncan.
That was fun. Third headline, Russell Westbrook messed around and got his 5th triple-double in 6 games. Seton, take it away.
Oklahoma City Wonder. What Katie's trade value is, question mark? Who needs the guy? Wonder?
Paulie.
Thunder? Wonder? Oklahoma City Wonder?
This headline will definitely be better than my last one because I couldn't think of one. Applause?
You could have this one if you want. Oklahoma City Wonder.
None is better than one.
All right, Fritzy.
I got Oklahoma Pretty flexing his Russell once again.
Below the
Very
belt.
average.
McLovin.
What's the big fussle? It's Russell with his 5th triple-double in 6 games.
What is the big fussle?
Aggressive.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Bustle.
This is funny. Former Giants coach Jim Fussell.
Jim Fussell.
Very funny. Fourth and final headline. Alex Rodriguez makes his first spring start at third base. McLovin, you have the con.
A-Rod gets to third base, hoping to round home and completely screw the Yankees.
Yeah.
R-rated. R-rated.
Fritzy.
The not corner. A-Rod won't chase Headley from playing third.
Chase Headley.
Chase Headley.
Chase Headley. Seton.
MC Lurch. A-Rod at third base gives me gas face.
Oh, that's solid.
Paulie, wrap it up for us.
Third base?
All I could think of was Yankees suck. Yankees suck.
The mock headline championship belt goes to Seton O'Connor.
Andrew Paul. Oh, yeah. I'm deferring. I'm going to actually give this up and give it to Andrew.
How about that?
I don't remember what the funny ones were, but I remember laughing at two of his. The fussle. What's the fussle?
Stick around.
Yeah,
McLovin came up with a fun game for the boss today. Real rumor or fake rumor? This is the box score. We're taking a break and remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty, with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower, doesn't need one. Guts, glory, Ram. We are closing up shop here on the box score. In the midst of the NFL free agent frenzy, McLovin came up with a clever little game to keep the boss on his toes. Here it is, real rumor or fake rumor?
Number one, the Philadelphia Eagles are rumored to be shopping Nick Foles to the Bears for Jay Cutler. Real rumor or false rumor?
Well, I think they're shopping him. I don't know if it's to the Bears, so I'll say real rumor.
That is a false rumor. Somebody tweeted that into me. There's no scuttlebutt on the internet about that. Julius Thomas, thought to be headed possibly to Jacksonville.
Yes.
The New England Patriots might make a strong play for the tight end to go back to a 2 tight end system.
I'll say fake.
Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense. That one, I was like, he's going to know that's a fake.
Yeah, Paul.
But if you're driving your car right now going like 70 and you hear this, oh my God, Julius Thomas is going to Patriots. Aren't you scaring some people?
Yeah, I like the segment. I love the music. I love the, based on a lot of improper facts. I was worried, though, that people were going to be in their car going, Julius Thomas to the Patriots, and then they realized it's just one of our goofy segments. That being said, they would have to have never listened to this show before to realize to think that was a real
But, though, to defend this, there are a lot of internet rumors that have about the same amount of actual work and truthfulness to them. So it's like...
Let's put them out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Colin Kaepernick rumor, there wasn't much to that, and we did that one.
Yeah.
I like that, by the way. I'm all for.
Let's just start throwing rumors out there.
I love rumors.
Why not? I'm in.
Yeah, the rumors are great. There's so much, who needs facts?
No, we don't use facts.
Facts will slow you down.
Ruins everything.
Yeah. You hear that rumor about Fritzy?
Oh, boy.
Let's have one for Fritzy. You want to spread one about Fritzy?
And my salmon pink shirt.
Well, it involves the restroom. No, I don't have anything about Fritzy.
McLovin, do you see that game making a comeback anytime soon?
Actually, I think we tried this out in 2012, and I gave it 3 years to sort of cool off, simmer down, and see if I could get it back in there.
I have it scheduled in the rundown for May of 2018.
Yeah, if we're still a show in 2018, you're going to be like,
Yeah, first hour.
Yeah, just talking about some quarterback who's in high school right now.
All right. Fritzy, who is on tomorrow?
We will be at the New York City Man Cave. 2-time NCAA champion at Duke, Christian Laettner, will join us. They have the Mothership 30 for 30 documentary, I Hate Christian Laettner, coming up on Sunday night. David Deal, NFL on Fox, former Giants offensive lineman, will be back with us in the Soho Man Cave in New York City as well. So that's what we got cooking so far, Laettner and Deal.
Christian Laettner and David Deal tomorrow.
So wait, let me get this straight. We have Christian Laettner on the show.
Christian Laettner.
And
David Deal.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen. We are back tomorrow, health, provided. Right here on Audience Channel 239. The podcast is available on iTunes or podcast1.com. Take care.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!